tell this is a mostly Latino party because we're all fired up and excited. I tell people, listen, I can't perform miracles. I can't resurrect the dead. But with you, you're all fired up, so thank you. First of all, let's give it up again. Fifth annual Gala, 5 years of helping students realize their dreams in a lifetime of resilience. Please give it up to the Rosales Center. I do want to thank Liz for inviting me and connecting me with her sisters. Liz and I met, I think, back in 2018, 2019. I was doing another talk. Each of us has our own story, our own struggles, our own victories, our purpose. My purpose is to help other people dream bigger, inspire them, and serve them. Values that have been passed on from generation to generation and cemented in my heart from the triumph of overcoming adversity. I am the proud son of Mexican immigrants, and just like the Rosales family, my family is also from Zacatecas. Yes, Pérez, Zacatecas. Fresnillo, Latero, Santo Niño. I prayed to him before I did my talk. And, my parents came to the U.S., like, same thing, like Maria and Abel, in search of a better life. My parents were also migrant workers in the Coachella Valley, down in the Palm Springs area. In fact, my mother was picking oranges literally up until I was born. A month after I was born, we returned back to Zacatecas until I was 5 years old, and we came back to El Norte. My dad had his green card. He got his green card during the Bracero program. So he's about to cross the frontera, wait for us on this side. My mother and I spent 30 days in Mexicali.
Woo!
Yeah. And waiting for El Coyote. You see, my mother was undocumented. And I remember one day my mom saying, "Mijo, get in the car, we're gonna go see your dad." And the next thing I know is I wake up and we're over in Mecca. And my parents have passed away, and I sometimes joke around that if I ever get to heaven, then I'm gonna ask my mom, did you give me Benadryl and put me to sleep? Right? And, after a few months of my parents working in the fields, we decided to relocate to the Bay Area. And that's where I grew up. And I remember starting kindergarten, not speaking English. And beginning to go to ESL classes, being on that free and reduced lunch program, right? And here's the thing, is that at a young age, around 6, 7, 8 years old, I already started feeling like I didn't belong. Because I would stand in this line in the free and reduced lunch program with all the other low-income kids, and I would look over there at those tables, and my white friends are sitting there already eating their peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. And I'm like, wait a minute. And it was no fault of my friends. It was just the system that was already making me feel that I'm different. I was the only kid when the ESL instructor walked into the room that got up. I'm like, that guy will tell you this, the little rebellious side of me, the area side of me. One day I stopped getting up and going over there. It's not because I didn't need the help. It's because I didn't want to feel different. Some of you can relate to this, what I'm saying. Fast forward, I'm in high school now. And thanks to teachers, programs like EOPS, MESA, that helped serve as what I call my bumper pants in life, that kept me from like going into the gutter. And just like a bowling ball, when you put bumper pants, it's gonna keep rolling down the alleyway, you know, and eventually it's gonna knock down at least one pin, maybe all 10. But I remember my high school counselor calling me into her office. Oscar, you have good grades. What do you want to do after you graduate? I didn't know what I wanted to do. My dad was a dishwasher. My mom worked in housekeeping. They didn't speak English. Okay, because the minute I learned how to speak English, second half of kindergarten, I became the translator until they passed away, almost about 9 years ago. But I knew how to play the game. You give them the answer they want to hear so they can leave you alone, and you get to go back to class. So I said to her, I want to go to college. Where? Shoot, I don't have an answer for this. Okay? And I said, UC Berkeley. So go Bears. The only reason why I said UC Berkeley, because at the time, my uncle lived in Oakland, right on the border of Oakland and Berkeley. So whenever we would go visit, we would hear UC Berkeley. Just like when you're over on the peninsula, what do you hear? Stanford. Yeah, that's cool, yeah. So I said, UC Berkeley. I told her I want to go to UC Berkeley. She looks up at the grades of the prior incoming freshman class and the SAT scores. She says, you don't qualify, Oscar. Well, here's the thing that she doesn't know. She didn't know about me. And many of you don't. I am negatively motivated. And so I walked out of her class, and mentally, this is what I did. Babe, show her. I went ahead and applied to Berkeley, and about 4 other UC schools. And guess which school first accepted me?
Berkeley.
UC Berkeley. Yes! Berkeley! Yes! In fact, I got into all the UC schools.
Telegraph.
Yes! And I share that story with you and when I talk to other students. Because here's the thing. Many of us, first gen, have so much trust and faith in the system, in those counselors, that they are supposed to guide us and give us the best advice. And I am not saying that my counselor was against me, but she saw the facts, not the potential. And that is one of the things that I love, and as I got to know more about the Rosales sisters and what they're doing, they are seeing the potential in the students, not the facts. When I think back at the Rosales sisters' story, there's a lot of commonality, a common thread of struggle, resilience, of hope. Our parents, they didn't come to the U.S. just to earn a paycheck. They came to realize a dream that maybe they didn't quite see that dream, but they believed it in their heart with every inch. One of the things that's amazing about scholarships is, yes, there's the financial support. But what I think there's more to it than that is that a scholarship is an act of faith that says, I believe in you. And so every one of us tonight will have that opportunity to raise that paddle, whatever it is that you need to raise your arm, lo que sea, and help the Rosales Scholarship believe in more students. I believe that God doesn't make junk. We're all created for greatness. And we have tonight that opportunity to have a ripple effect in helping these students and many more students realize their greatness. As I reflect back on my story, ESL kid to first gen grad from UC Berkeley, from the fields to the stage, I think back at people like Mr. Jones, my 6th grade teacher, who reminded me, Oscar, get that math form signed by your parents so you can go into advanced math. Mr. Rodriguez, who didn't criticize me for taking Spanish and say, tú ya hablas español, why are you taking Spanish? Well, Bob, you speak English, why are you taking English? Las cosas que dice la gente. The things that some people say, right? You know? So, I'm going to leave you with this. One person with courage is a majority. Let me say that again. One person with courage is a majority. The Rosales sisters are a majority. Yes. Their parents, Maria and Abel, que en paz descanse, are a majority. And tonight, all of us are a majority. I know we live in a time right now where there's this inequality divide, where it's become common to bash immigrants. But I will tell you something. That we have the opportunity today to make a difference, not just in these students' lives, but in future generations. Because I have kids today, and because of what Mr. Jones, Mr. Randall, Mr. Rodriguez did, my kids are benefiting, and future generations will. I close with this. Do not ask, why is there injustice? But instead, let's roll up our sleeves and eradicate together injustice. Thank you, everyone. Oiga, de la reina here.
First of all, are you a hugger?
Yes.
I don't know. Thank you, that was amazing. Can we give another round of applause for Oscar Garcia? What I'm going to say about that story is that one thing that stood out for me is you very casually said you're an ESL student, and I am an ESL student, and I use Grammarly on a regular. But for the longest time, I was so ashamed of that. Right, because you learn Spanish first, and sentence structure in English is just, it's hard. So thank you so much for sharing all of your story and for bringing your energy tonight. Thank you. We have another round of applause for Oscar.